Hello and welcome to another video, and today we're going to be having a look at how to get and how to use a priority card if you're going to Disneyland Paris. So this is for anybody that is applying to go to Disneyland Paris with a disability ticket, where you get basically a bit of extra support or extra access to various things to help you out while you are there. First of all, we're going to get into how to book the pass when you bought your tickets, and after that we're going to look into what it actually does, as we've just got back yesterday from a trip where we spent 2 full days in the parks with someone with one of these priority cards. And so we got to know how they work. To start off with, when you book the ticket, you will obviously book the ticket with the disability, and you get a carer's ticket as well to go with that person. And so you have to go and book your priority card. Now, first of all, you can see on here you can apply it for 1 month in advance. So we booked our actual tickets about 3 months before we went, but we waited until 1 month before we went to apply for this card, and that was really straightforward. So you come to this website, which I will leave a link in the description down below if you haven't found it yet, or you can just type in Disneyland Paris priority card onto Google and it will come up as the first option. And this is how you go through and request your priority card. So you basically have to go down this list of information, which starts when you press next down there. So you check the documents that are eligible from your country, which I'll show you in a minute for the United Kingdom what they are. You indicate the date of your visit, so when you've booked that you're going and you've booked your tickets already. You go through some questions which kind of decide what level of card you will get, as there's different colours, and so it's things like, can you get on and off rides, do you need support, that type of thing. Contact information and a valid passport photo, or a photo similar to a passport photo style. Doesn't have to be the same one as your passport, but just a version of it. And then you get an email saying yes, all sorted, and you pick up your card when you get to the park. And again, I'm going to talk through how we picked up the card when we got there. We were staying on site at Disney, so I'll talk about where we did all that a little bit later on in the video. And also I'll talk about some of the good bits and the bad bits of the card. So as we move on, first of all, let's click on next here, because you then come up to this page and you have to select your country. Now, this website does not work very well on a phone. It is really buggy. So do try and make sure if you have access to a computer that you do it on a laptop or a computer screen. But when you have clicked on United Kingdom, you then get this list of things that are valid to get yourself the priority card. So you go down this list and basically tick off which one, or check that you've got evidence of that you can take with you one of these 13 items. So the people we went with, they had number 1 and they had number 8. I think they only showed their access card to get them the ticket when we got there, but they brought their disability living allowance evidence as well, just in case that was needed. But the access card was more than enough, and they just took a photo of it, took a photocopy of it, and they were good to go. So you click on this one. I have one of these documents. And then you plug in your visit date. So I'm going to plug in that we're going next month, for example. And then this is where you go through the autonomy levels. So do you have any mobility problems? Yes or no. Will you be accompanied at all times in all the attractions? Yes or no. Are you able to quickly get in and out of an attraction vehicle such as the train, boat, or other, either unaided or with the help of one of your companions? Again, yes or no. In the event of an evacuation from an attraction, can you descend a ladder, flight of steps, and walk on a path unaided or with the help of your companion? And the reason they go through all those is basically to determine, I think, the number of people that can come with you. So the people we were with, their access card had a colour in it, and that meant that 5 people, including the person with the card, could go on the ride and go through the kind of priority card area. Now, as we were a group of 6, that was really good, because most of us could get on, and I'll talk about how that works again in a little bit later on in the video. But I think if you put down that you are going to struggle with more of the things, or if you do struggle with more of the kind of getting off unaided or with the help of a companion, if you can't do that, then less people can go with you, because obviously to help that person get on and off the rides if needed. And then this is where you go through first name, last name, upload a photo, email, and it all is pretty straightforward from there. So I'm going to just go back to the start, because it then tells you what you need to know for the actual getting the card. Okay, here you go. Disneyland Paris Priority Card. I even typed it wrong. Request a priority card, and that's how you get onto the page. So we have checked the documents, we have indicated that of our visit, we have said the level of autonomy of the person with the card or needing the card. You enter that bit, and then from there you get your confirmation email, and it says, yeah, basically you've got your card. There was no waiting around to see if it was accepted or not. It was just a, yeah, you've got it, perfect. And then when we got to the park, you got the card. So that's where we're going to go next. This part is all about how we got hold of the actual card. We went, and we were actually away for 4 days. We arrived in Disneyland on the Thursday, kind of late afternoon, early evening. We went into the parks on Friday and Saturday, and then we drove back home again on Sunday. So when we got there on the Thursday, we were staying in the Santa Fe hotel. Now I assume this will be the same for all the Disney actual like on resort hotels in Paris. But we got there and we went to the check-in first of all, got our key cards, got everything sorted, that type of thing, and we decided, okay, brilliant, we're here. Rather than waiting until tomorrow, can we actually get the access card and the priority card sorted today? So then tomorrow we can get into the parks early, as we had kind of that rope drop hour, or the magic time hour, sorry, because we're staying on site on Disney property, we wanted to make the most of that. So they said, yes, absolutely fine. Go across to the guest information desk and they will sort it all out there. So we're like, oh, that's perfect, fantastic. We will head over there. And we went and put all our stuff in the room and went back to the guest information desk. Now, at this point, we were feeling really optimistic this was going to be an absolute breeze, because the lady at the first kind of check-in desk seemed to be like, yeah, no problem, happens all the time. Go over there, get your stuff sorted, and that'll be fine. And it almost was that easy. But there were a small hiccup. Now, we went to the desk and showed there was one guy on the desk, and we showed him, first of all, the tickets that we had with the, obviously it said like guest with disability on it, and said we're looking for the priority card. How do we get that sorted? And the guy looked at you get given like a sheet of paper to print off when you get your tickets to scan to get into the plane. And he looked at it and I kid you not, he said, I don't know what that is. And we were like, what do you mean? It's a Disneyland Paris ticket. It says with disability we need access. Like, and he said, oh no, that's nothing to do with us here. And at that point, our kind of faces dropped, and I really didn't know what we were going to do, because we'd brought this kind of close friends with us to Disneyland Paris, and it seemed like we'd done something wrong. Like what we thought was going to happen wasn't going to happen. So obviously this was started off and going really badly. But then, thankfully, 3 women came out from kind of the back room to the guest information desk and immediately wandered over, saw us talking to the guy who was there, and kind of took over, took one look at the ticket and said, oh, yeah, we know what that is. Yeah, absolutely, that's fine. And so I don't know whether this, I mean, there was obviously a bit of a language barrier because I don't speak French, and that guy obviously was French. He could speak some English though, but something, anyway, some part of the communication went really wrong. But these other 3 ladies all completely knew what they were doing. Got us sorted, took the access card. We did have to fill in the information again. So this bit where it says total level of autonomy, we had to fill in all those questions again. But we did it. They looked at it, made the access card, gave it to us, and we went on our happy little way. And that, from that moment on, it was so easy. As soon as the women came and started talking to us, they completely knew what they were doing. I hope that was just a complete one-off, and normally it will be just as easy as it was from then on. But honestly, the first person we talked to just seemed to have absolutely no idea as to what was going on at all. So that's how you actually get your access card. You can do it on Disney property in the hotels. You don't have to go to the front desk at the actual Disneyland Park. For you guys, when you get to your hotels and go through that same process, it will be superbly easy for you guys, as it was with us when the women came and basically took over. And so from there, we went into the parks the next morning, and everything worked super smoothly. So as you go into the parks, you obviously just scan your tickets, show that you're staying with your like Santa Fe card in our turn, or wherever else you're staying. Show that you're staying on site, and then you get in for the first hour, and then you're free to spend your days in Disneyland Paris. And so I'm now going to move on to how you actually get onto the rides with your access card, because every single ride is a little bit different. So for each ride, you basically have to look for the little sign where it's a sign of a person in a wheelchair, and that is the priority card access point, or the accessibility point for each ride. And so most of them are kind of by the exits of the ride, you go in through that way. Some of them are near the kind of premier access or the single rider queue line area. But basically have a look for those badges and you can go on those rides. Now, like I said, each coloured version of the badge is a different number of people. When you get it, and you'll find out what version you've got and how many can go on with you. But for our case, it was 5 people in total. So the card access holder, the access card holder, and then 4 more people going with them. So we basically wandered up to there and we showed them the queue. Now, I'm going to be completely honest here. As there were 6 of us, there were a couple of rides where one of us kind of chose to sit out. But on almost every single ride, we went up to them and said, look, we want to go on through here. There is 6 of us. Is that okay? And I reckon 9 out of 10 times they just said, yeah, go on, that's absolutely fine. The ones they didn't were just the super. So like, we were there a few days after the Frozen ride opened the first time. They said no because obviously that was really busy, and that's absolutely fine. And whenever they did say no, like, we didn't ask again or beg them or anything. We were like, yeah, that's absolutely fine, just 5 of us will go on. But on the ones where we did just go up and ask, they normally said, oh yeah, go on. Because we're both, it was me and my wife and our son, and then our 2 friends and their son. And they almost always said, yeah, just go through as 6 people. And honestly, if you do have one of the access cards, you do need one, they are an absolute game changer. The queue lines in terms of the access rides are so short, and they get you on the rides so quickly. I think the longest queue we had the whole 2 days was 15 minutes. And bear in mind, it was the Friday and Saturday of the Easter holidays. It was nice enough weather. It was cloudy, but not too cold. It was so tight. The Frozen Land had opened the Sunday before, so it was our first Friday and Saturday that Frozen Land was open. The parks were full as we went in. There were signs saying like, no more tickets, park can play, park full. It was so good in terms of being able to get yourself on the ride. So if you have got children that struggle with queuing or anything like that, and you have got access to one of these cards, then I would really recommend giving it a turn or giving it a try, because getting on the rides is so easy. There were also a couple of other massive benefits. One of them that we didn't use, and one of them that we did a lot. So the benefit that we didn't use was that you can get, for 2 people and the access card holder, so obviously like a child and both his parents, or however many people are with you, you can get access to the kind of reserved seating for the shows. Now, we didn't actually go and see any of the shows while we we're here this time. It's the first time we've ever been to Disneyland and not seen the show, but we're just so busy going on the rides that we never got a chance to stop. But yeah, you can get access to the kind of reserved seating. To make sure you get yourself a seat, you just have to turn up about 20-30 minutes before the show starts. They'll say, yeah, that's fine, and then you can come back as they let you in, and you can go into the show. Is what we were told would happen. Now, like I said, we didn't try that out, but I think based on everything else, that is how that would work. And then the best one that we used a huge amount was for meeting the characters. So every character that comes out, let's say one of the characters was Winnie the Pooh. Winnie the Pooh is there from 10 o'clock till 4:30. Now, when they are there, they have a little book on a kind of black stand, a bit like what a conductor uses when they're kind of doing the performing in front of an orchestra. And there's always a Disneyland Paris staff member or cast member there with that little black book. And as you go up to this person, they basically ask you to see your access card, and then you can book yourself a slot to come back. Now, those slots do fill up. They don't fill up massively quickly, but if you're going to go see a character at 4 o'clock and they finish at 4:30, the slots will almost certainly be full. But if the character started at 10 and you get in there at 11, 12, 1 o'clock, there's normally still spaces where they'll say, oh yeah, look, we've got a slot here. They're about every 10 minutes, I think. Come back in an hour, we've got a slot there, and you can go back and see the character then, which again saves you from having to queue up all the time. And we have never met the characters before, but because we had access to this as a group, we saw so many characters, and it was so special to see the kids meeting those characters and having an absolute wonderful time. And I think that is a massive one, because the queue times to meet the characters at Disneyland Paris are enormous. You're easily waiting for an hour to kind of have a hug and a picture of the character. And it was so good to be able to meet so many over the course of 2 days. So hopefully you found this useful. And this is obviously our Tuesday video, where it's a bit more like an explainer or a guide. On Saturday morning, you will see our vlog. So go have a watch of the vlog on the channel. And very soon we're going to be back in Disneyland Paris and then Disneyland Florida this summer. We will see you there.